I'm going to try again to do this because I keep on trying to understand my channel and its future. Is it something relevant or is it just a waste of time? Um, I heard another banging noise on a recording I made, a video I was making, and I noticed a banging noise on the microphone. I thought it was me at first, and I went back and recorded another video, essentially just to see the banging noise, if it was probably my woofer, subwoofer, turned up too loud. And in the second video, I ended up getting a woman's voice. Bang, same banging noise, and a woman's talking in the background. Uh, yeah. When I think about my channel and I think about the content of the channel, am I a gaming channel? And the answer is maybe, no. Am I a channel of the paranormal? No, I don't think so. Not entirely. Am I a novel, which I have part of the novel on a drafting table? It's been there since about 1994. An idea that I had on my drafting table is still sitting there, and it's been there now for a long time. I always say to myself, I wish I was younger. I wish I had got into YouTube or something like this, and I could have done a lot more work on this. I still plan to do more work. But the question is, what is the future of this channel? Is this really something that people want to look at or care about? And then I look at the same thing. I ask the question, when people start off doing anything within this particular field, how do they start? Do they look at themselves and say, hey, I got something to contribute? Sometimes it just takes an effort to talk on a microphone. And then say I'm talking to who exactly? Always when I get into this kind of content, I'm coming through one thing that's different, and I always enjoy it, and I still focus heavily on are my three avatars. This avatar always seems to tie me into the supernatural, the paranormal stuff, which I can't explain. There's still something about Moody Hope that I still say is the face of the channel, is trying to understand the paranormal in a sense, what seems to be coming into my house still. I don't know why. Uh, Nubia of Kirsch is always, I call, laughing and having fun with humor. Mina comes from Bloodborne. Bloodborne always seems to be playing with film in some ways. The content is always looking at something and taking advantage of shorts, movies, a lot of things I look at. Is that something viable? When you make content on YouTube, you have to specify what the content is with the titling, how you describe things, hashtags, tags. There always seems to be something you have to do essentially to make your channel relevant. I'm not sure I can follow that format entirely. And it might be this channel does nothing more than just become a footnote after a while. The actual title of the channel still is, I still call it a Game of Four, and I always will keep it a Game of Four. However, is this content relevant? Is something that someone listens to and they say, hey, you're like any other channel that starts off on YouTube. The difference is the content itself. Can you make this content interesting? And I still say the answer to that question is hell yeah, I can. Oh yeah. I've only begun to warm up at what I can do with this content. But the same thing still applies. I still consider myself an X channel. So is there an audience for an X channel? And I still think there is. I still think there is. When I look at other type of channels and I look at the content, I'm always amazed at sometimes of the content I come across, and I always find myself interested in all these other channels. I see them, I see the creators, they're there again, the same situation. They're all looking at their stats, people who are subscribing for views in the same format. So I'm still in that same crowd. I'm not as big, but the numbers also can be deceptive because subscribers doesn't necessarily mean the channel's content. It doesn't mean the channel is better or worse. It just simply says you have more subscribers. The views are what matters and the likes. And interacting with other people as a channel, so I'm learning that part. So is this game or is this channel viable? And I think it is. At least for me it is. When I hear a woman talking from a distance or tapping on the microphone, I don't know what that is. I really don't know what that is. You know what I mean? When I go back and listen to something else, recordings, and I look at content like this one, and I still say, is the content of the channel relevant? And the answer is yes, because here's the reason why. Perception. How you see things, how you look at things, how you perceive things. This country, when I look at it many times over, how we perceive things now. A different administration comes into office from the prior administration, and how we perceive ourselves, is that relevant to the planet? And the answer is yes. I am a next channel, a small channel that's about perceptions also. So am I relevant? The answer is yes.